Welcome to our introductory video in our series covering the human digestive system, the organ system that is responsible for converting your food into nutrients that can be used by your cells either to make energy or simply to grow. Now in this video, we're going to be introducing the three primary purposes of the human digestive system, starting with probably the most obvious one. Now it is called the digestive system, so not surprisingly, the primary function is to digest food. Now, what is encompassed by digestion is a little bit open to interpretation, depending on what part of the digestive system we're talking about. If we start at the very beginning, looking at the process of chewing, this is actually a form of digestion, which is what we call mechanical digestion, or we can say that this person, as they chew on the apple, is digesting the apple mechanically because they're using their teeth to cut apart the apple into smaller pieces without affecting the chemical structure of any of the compounds within the apple directly. This is simply a physical or mechanical change. However, when we get deeper into the digestive system, we can also look at the role of the digestive system when it comes to chemically digesting food. And in this case, the most important component of the digestive system, represented by these little green people here in this cartoon, these are representations of the digestive system's enzymes, which are your body's biological catalysts. So this means that your digestive enzymes are protein-based chemicals that speed up the chemical reactions of the digestive system without being consumed, meaning that these enzymes can actually be reused. When biologists say that the enzymes are the individual molecular machines of the body, this is basically what they are referring to. So what we can do here is introduce the actual chemical reactions that are catalyzed by your body's digestive enzymes, and these are what we call hydrolysis reactions. Now, for those unfamiliar with this word, we can break this word into two components in order to figure out its meaning. Obviously, the prefix hydro is related to water in some way, and every single digestive enzyme that you will see involves adding water to the food that you eat. This is why saliva is so important right from the outset when you put food in your mouth. But what exactly does the suffix lysis mean? Well, if we think of other words that have lysis as a prefix, for example, analysis, when we analyze or when we do analysis of a word, we break it into its components to understand the individual pieces in order to infer meaning. So the process of breaking down something is what the suffix lysis indicates. In other words, enzymes that catalyze hydrolysis reactions add water to the chemicals that make up the nutrients in your food in order to break down nutrients to a smaller size that is easier for your cells to actually absorb. For example, if we take a look at the reaction being done on the left, this is done by a family of enzymes, if I can actually spell it properly, which are what we call your protease enzymes. And from the beginning of this word, the prefix of this word, we can infer that these are enzymes that break down proteins from your food, such as the proteins you get from meat or egg white or certain vegetable protein products if you are a vegetarian. And these enzymes add water in order to break specific bonds in the protein structure so that the proteins are broken down to their individual components, which are what we call amino acids. So this is one example of a hydrolysis reaction catalyzed by your digestive enzymes. Another example is the digestive enzymes that are responsible for breaking down large fat storage molecules, which are what we call triglyceride molecules. And triglycerides belong to a large family of molecules that include individual fat molecules, which are what we call lipids. Basically, a lipid is any molecule that is structurally similar to fats and dissolve poorly in water. So here we see a hydrolysis reaction being catalyzed where a triglyceride molecule has water to it and is broken down to make individual fat molecules. And the name of this enzyme would be lipase. Now, over the course of the digestive system, we're going to learn about many different digestive enzymes. These are just two specific examples. And again, because they catalyze hydrolysis reactions, they are what we collectively call hydrolytic enzymes. Now, once this entire process is done, all of the nutrients from your food are converted into smaller forms that are more easily usable by the cells within your body. The problem is that we actually need to get them in to the cells within our body, which means we need to get them out of your digestive system and into your blood in order for these nutrients to be transported to the cells in your body, that need them. And this is what we refer to as the process of nutrient absorption, transferring usable nutrients from digestion, from your digestive system, into your circulatory system so that they can be transferred to where in the body they are needed. And this is primarily the function of your intestines, which make up the overwhelming majority of your digestive system. Now, common sense dictates that we cannot use 100% of the nutrients in the food that we eat. And indeed, a lot of the components of our food we actually want to get rid of simply because they are not healthy or just aren't usable by certain organs within the body. And so the final purpose of the digestive system is what we call excretion, which is the process of eliminating anything that isn't usable by the digestive system. So any nutrients that we cannot break down, and we will go over example of these, as well as any examples of waste products from chemical reactions in the body, can be eliminated through our digestive system. And this, of course, is done by the large intestine that is eventually designed or eventually functions rather to remove solid waste from the body, and that is the process that we call excretion. This concludes our introduction to the three primary functions of the digestive system. Join us in the next video where we start literally at the very beginning of the digestive system and look at the nuances and how the mouth actually is used for both chemical and mechanical digestion.